I don't feel like saying, hey guys, it's Crystal. Hey guys, it's Crystal, and today I am going to talk about my iPad Pro. But yeah, now that I've had a lot more time with it, I really love this thing. I love my iPad Pro, and it's not something that I really need in my life, but I love that it is in my life. But yeah, let's just get right into it. The first thing I want to really talk about is the design of this thing. I'm one of the people that happens to love it. I feel like there's mixed reviews. You either love it or hate it. I love how thin it is. I love the bigger display, the rounded display, even the rounded bezels, which aren't the thinnest bezels, but they are thinner than before and they're equal on all sides. And I think it looks good because it just matches the overall iPad design. Like the device itself is rounded in the corners too, so everything just looks really good. Even the Apple Pencil is redesigned. It feels better in your hand. There's more gestures that you can do with it. It even magnetically attaches to the iPad now, which makes so much more sense. It's so much better than plugging it into here to charge it, and yeah, it was just kind of weird before, but now it makes a lot more sense. There's even magnets on the back for the smart cover and keyboard. But overall, when it comes to design, this is a very beautifully designed device, and I really wouldn't change much about it. The only thing that I would do differently, and this is on me because I went with the larger one, but I wish I went with the smaller 11-inch iPad instead of the 12.9 that I have here, just because I feel like it would have been better and easier to hold in my hand, since when I use this thing, I'm usually holding it. Thanks, Gabby. And that's weird for me to say because typically I go for the bigger device always. Like I have the 15-inch MacBook Pro, I have the iPhone XS Max, so I usually do like a bigger screen, but I do wish I went to the store before just ordering one like I did. So if you are gonna get one, definitely go to the Apple store, try out the different sizes in your hand while you're holding it, because yeah, now that I'm holding this big one, I kind of wish I had the smaller one. Yeah, I do wish I went with the smaller one, not only because it would have been smaller, but because it would have saved me some money, because these things are expensive. Even the 11-inch one, it starts at $800, I believe, which, yeah, that's a lot for an iPad. Overall, I think that they should be, or I wish that they were cheaper, because this one, 12.9 inches and 512 gigs of storage, was $13.49, I believe. And with the Apple Pencil, that was like another $100. It's a lot of money. And that goes into the whole discussion of, yeah, these iPads, they're so expensive. Like they're more expensive than some MacBooks and MacBook Pros. So are people getting these to replace their laptops? And that's been a question since the beginning, since these came out. People are wondering, will they replace a laptop for some people? I think for some people, yeah. Like if you're just using your laptop to browse the internet and not really do much on there, then sure, this is a great browsing device if you don't want to carry a bigger laptop. But in a lot of ways, it doesn't. I mean, it depends on what you use it for. So yeah, for some people it would. For me, definitely does not. Maybe in the future. I also want to quickly talk about the display itself after my couple months of using it. Don't want to get too much into it because, I mean, you guys know, it's a great looking display. It's not OLED, it's LCD, but it still looks really great. The colors are super vibrant and punchy. I mean, I love the display on here. We also still get ProMotion on here with that 120 Hz refresh rate. So when you're swiping through things, it really comes in handy because it makes it really fast and smooth looking, and it'll drop down to 24 Hz depending on what you're watching on the screen. But yeah, just having that is so nice. I mean, it's nothing new, but it just looks really cool. I never get tired of that. I guess that leads me to talking about what I even use this for. I just watch Netflix and that's it. Just kidding. I mean, I do watch Netflix on here, and this is a great thing to watch Netflix with, but that is not the only thing I do on here. I've been doing a lot of drawing. Before using this iPad Pro, I hadn't drawn in a while, and I used to do a lot of drawing back in the day, back in high school and college. I went to college for design and graphic design specifically. So there was a lot of drawing that I did in there. But yeah, I hadn't done it in a while and I really like to draw. I find it very stress relieving. If you saw my what's on my iPhone, you'll see that I had a lot of stress relief apps on there. So I'm really into that stuff and just, I don't know, just doing things that make you feel better mentally. And yeah, drawing is one of those things that just makes me feel better even if I'm not that great. But that's something I've been doing a lot on here. Been using Procreate so much. It is such a great app for drawing. It's just really great, especially with the Apple Pencil. It's like meant to be. It just feels like you're drawing on a piece of paper. If you get an iPad Pro, you need an Apple Pencil to go with it. I mean, you don't need it, but if you're gonna do like the creative things on here, the Apple Pencil is the way to go. Oh, and yeah, Procreate is so much fun. There's so many drawing apps on the iPad Pro. So many great ones that you can use, but Procreate is like one of the best. Like there's so many tools. I really do want to go back to the whole design stuff. Like if I had this during my graphic design days in college, I would have been so happy because there's so many apps on here that are just so helpful and useful for that. And like I said, like having the whole Apple Pencil thing, like it's like the best way to create. Like it's like using your hands, but you're still in the digital world. I feel like if I had an iPad back in those days, I would have worked a lot faster and easier and also better because I used my laptop and trackpad for so many of the things that I used to do, which is like terrible when it comes to that type of stuff. But aside from all the drawing and design things, one of the main things that I do even more than drawing is photo editing. And this has quickly become my thumbnail maker. Any Instagram photos that I post, I edit on here first. I can straight like just plug in my SD card with my adapter into here and just put the photos on here and just start editing right away in Lightroom and VSCO and all this stuff that I usually do through my phone and laptop. I can do all of that on here and that has been amazing too. Like I don't see myself not editing my photos on here now. Before it was like I need to like put it through my laptop first and my phone, but I can do all of that on here. But yeah, photo editing is so great. Like I said, there's so many of the apps that I already used on my phone on here. Aside from photo editing, drawing, what else do I really do on here? There's a lot of apps on my phone that I'm just gonna leave it to my phone, if you know what I mean. But even gaming apps, I don't see myself doing that much gaming on here ever. There's one app that I guess can fall into the silly, fun things to do. It's called Magic Piano. It's like a game. That's really cool to play on the iPad because it's nice and big, so you get a big view of it, but I've played it on my phone before, like years ago. I used to play this. It's really silly. Does it look like I'm playing piano? Man, I love Greatest Showman though. Such a great movie. But you basically just hit these little dots that come down. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. You get the point. Maybe I should like get some like actual piano learning apps. Like that'd be cool. Well, I guess this other app too is in the entertainment folder section of my iPad. Pigment. It's a coloring book. It's fun. I've colored some things on here. This bell, which I did not finish yet. Pretty. Thanks. But I got better ones, don't worry. I colored this gradient thing. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's one of my better ones. I really like went in on that and, you know, shaded everything to perfection. Oh, I have Instagram and Twitter on here because why not? You know, like how am I gonna have something and not have Instagram and Twitter on it? Especially Instagram. But the only thing about Instagram, it's such a weird view. I guess like, you know, the iPad wasn't meant for Instagram. It has like these two big black bars on the side. So it's not really. Ow. Ow. Man. Well, you can use the iPad as a weapon. Those are like the main apps. Then of course I said like I have the YouTube app, some designing apps, the Affinity apps. Oh, you know something that I haven't tried on here yet? Video editing, which is something that like people have really been getting into. Like you can edit videos on here. There's an app called LumaFusion that's really good for video editing. I'm mostly, like I said, I've just been editing photos and drawing on the iPad. but I kind of want to try it. Oh, and when it comes to watching videos on here, the speakers are great. There's like a speaker on every side of it, like one here, one here, one here. There's 4 speakers. It really gives you that stereo effect. Like, yeah, that's why I've been watching Netflix on here a lot. You know, I just realized I don't really use my headphones with this. No headphone jack on here, but I'm okay with it because I'm on that Bluetooth wireless life with my headphones anyway. But apart from the no headphone jack, we do have a USB-C port now instead of Lightning, which is amazing. Like, everything from Apple should be USB-C, and I'm just waiting for the day that it happens to the phones too, because that's the main cable that I use for everything. But it also reminds me that the USB-C port is not as good as it can be because you can't plug in external hard drives and SSDs. You can do SD cards, which that's, you know, that's cool for me because I'll just bring in my photos straight from my camera. But I feel like it should be something that is available in the future iPad Pro. And I think overall the next iPad Pro hopefully is just going to be more of a laptop-like device that can replace your laptop even more than it can now. But for now, I'm not really looking for it to do that, so I've been great. So yeah, that's just like the main point of this video. I just want to tell you guys like what I use it for and the reason that I do use one. Because if I didn't find it useful, I wouldn't use it, but I do because I do find it useful. So there's that. I'm just gonna tell you how it is. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I think that this is a great device, and for some people, it like will change your life. Not everybody has to like it, but I like it. I think I'm
just like that. Just like that, you said.
The end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, do you use an iPad Pro? Are you loving it? Are you hating it? I want to know your feedback too. So let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you later. Mine has not bent, and I take it everywhere with me. Looks pretty straight. I mean, there's a little camera hump. Whoa, I just really scuffed my camera though by doing that. I'm gonna end this video before I break my iPad.